Johnny down in the bottom left for team License to Kill. It is Reaper in the blue.
And in the red, in the Terran, it is the Infernales Esports PureLegacy.
And we did see PureLegacy actually find himself in a pretty phenomenal position versus Scarlet. He killed like 17 or 20 drones with a big Hellion run by. BC got some good damage done, but then he lost the BC really unnecessarily to some queens that had just kind of cornered it in the bottom left. And then his macro kind of faltered, and Scarlet just killed him with Swarm Host, Queen, Roach Ravager.
Oof. Oof. Yeah, I mean, it's what you expect from Scarlet, right? She's just such a force of nature in this game.
Oh yeah, it was definitely the expected result, but it was neat to see. It was neat to see that, you know, she was a little bit exposed and she had to really work her way back into the game, and she was able to do so. That was cool. That was nice to see.
Yeah, I get you. It shows some promise, perhaps, from our Terran player here, then, right?
Yeah, and as well, it showed also the grit and, like you said, the kind of brilliance we expect from Scarlet, the ability to battle back from a tough position.
Like we saw Hero Marine do just earlier. That was, oh my god.
that was brilliant. That was
thinking back, and it still feels like, no, he should not have won that.
Exactly, yeah.
And he just did it anyway.
So good at what he does.
Magic. That happens sometimes in StarCraft when there's a really good player involved.
Yeah, it is fun to see. We are going to be seeing Reaper checking, or rather, PureLegacy checking PureLegacy's Reaper. Oh my goodness, how did this not cross my mind? PureLegacy's Reaper, seeing that there is no third base just yet, and we are going to see the Reaper trying to get up into the main base. Will get deflected so far, so good job from Reaper, but two base Zerg is, yeah, it's so brain breaking. Two base Zerg is such a funky setup. There's a lot of things you can do from that. You can go two base Muta, you can go two base Roach, you can go two base Nidus, but you do need to get something done with whatever it is you choose to do. Oh, second factory. Hang on. Is this going to be the oldest school, like, Blue Flame Hellion build? Yeah, that's a tech lab. I think it's going to be Blue Flame Hellion.
What? Okay. I mean, those could very definitely kill someone very quickly. Reaper, is he going to be ready for something like this? I mean, he's not going for a third base. And look at that. Is he making a wall here? The Baling Nest already kind of getting in position. Lair coming up, which, I mean, what could be the plan there?
This feels like two base Muta based on the timing of the gas, but we'll see. Oh, Spore Crawler trying to take drone trying to take a third base and instead turns into a Spore Crawler. It will, in fact, be that Blue Flame Hellion opening. There's the third hatch coming on down. And there, yeah, with two more gases on the way, it's going to be two base Muta.
Yep.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe, like, Nidus, when he does have those two Overlords in fairly good positions across the map. But then you usually want to have some Roaches or something like that, right? You don't really want to commit with Zergling Baling into a Nidus. It feels too fragile.
Yeah, you certainly don't. It can be a little bit tricky. We are going to see, the Overlord sees the second factory, sees the research being, the upgrade being researched, and he's going to morph in 4 Banes already defensively, anticipating a big Hellion run by. And Blue Flame is not yet done, but the Banelings are ready to go if those Hellions should elect to go for this. And now we see a third factory and an armory coming down, as well as that third command center. So far,
I keep thinking, this guy is going to go aggressive for the two base, and then they build his third base.
Yeah.
Blue Flame now, or it's about to be done. He needs to be careful not to really. Does it matter if he shows it on the queens here?
No,
it's not too much.
Not really. It was already kind of scouted. The Hellions are just continuing to rally forward. This is kind of a wash so far. There's the Hellbats morphing on in. Mutas do start on up, but here is where the Banelings come in. Oh, no, the Lings. You do not want to lead with those Lings. He cannot afford to really lose those for free. Nice micro on the first queen, but there's not a lot of queens here, and no transfuse just yet. Nice grenade. He actually ends up knocking the one queen a little bit further back. Doesn't get microed. Oh, some very questionable micro right there. Runs the queens to the edge of creep. It will end up being kind of a wash here, as it's no drone damage, but he kills a fair bit of Ling Bane and some queens. I guess that's a little bit better for Reaper overall. But now we're going to see... Oh, sorry, go on.
He does get a scout on the Mutalisk, right? Which is also a pretty big deal. But to be fair, like, now he can prepare for it, and he's like the potential punch of these Mutalisk has kind of been dismantled.
Yeah, but I feel like he probably had the read on the Mutas anyways. You should certainly be expecting it here. Oh, that Muta barely surviving.
That's fair.
Does manage to get the turret. This is such a weird position now. Scan's going to come down into natural. We'll see double double Evo Chamber and the Roach Warren. Reaper, it's going to call for a bit of a pause here. We'll just give him a moment. Oh, looks like some hotkey issues. Hopefully everything is going to be fine.
UG. I'm not sure what that means.
Probably
okay, typoed. I don't know. Oh, you good. There we go.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That's
I was like,
must
I like had to look down on my keyboard. I'm like, no, I don't think it's that.
No. I was like, okay, it's close, but it's not that close.
All right, we're getting back into it here.
Game resumed.
On the countdown, resumed. We are going to see Reaper going for Bane speed as well. I mean, with how much PureLegacy's third base is kind of slowed down by this. Yeah, I think I like Reaper's position. It's not amazing, but it's definitely decent, and it's going to be tough for PureLegacy's supply to really get to where it wants to get here, to be able to deal with an aggressive play. Oh, did he even lose any mutas? I think he lost.
I think he lost one.
I think he lost one. Oh, these factories are going to be delayed. That's kind of nice. Good job with the mutas. Let's battle in two. Well, he just lost. Okay. Oh, my goodness. He loses all the mutas and a lot of drones on the other side of the map. Well, it was good for Reaper. Now it is a pretty terrible situation for him. Yeah. Loses quite a few drones, all of his mutas. That's all of his map control.
Yeah, that wasn't great. Like, just because of the Hellions coming in, right? He lost focus on the Mutalisk, and then they just kind of paraded there for a moment. And it's just not stuff that you can allow to have happen in a very competitive game like this.
Yeah, it's a bad time. We are going to be seeing the Smart Servos upgrade, the Magfield Accelerator upgrade coming in from PureLegacy. So he's going to be heading towards probably a little bit of Battle Mech. Of course, he's already got the Blue Flame upgrade. Hellions are going to run in on the fourth base once again. This is actually a lot of Hellions that he's using right here. Nice Corrosive Vials to try and zone those Hellions in to make sure he gets a couple extra pot shots. And of course, if he goes through the Corrosive Vials, he just loses every Hellion. So nice little defense right there. I really liked the use of Corrosive Vial there.
Yeah, but I mean, still 7 workers lost. He's on an okay worker count, but PureLegacy is trading out favorably here. Definitely giving me some old nightmares, though, those Blue Flame Hellions running into drone lines. But
oh yeah,
man, they're doing their job again here. Getting a couple of spine crawlers. I suppose that shows how much Reaper is struggling with this.
Yeah, this is rather annoying. He's going to lose another 8 drones. Does kill all 4 Hellions, which is actually a completely even trade. It's 400 resources for 400 resources, and he's already on a pretty phenomenal drone count right now. So, like, he can replace those drones very easily. It is keeping, you know, PureLegacy is trading low-tech units out for slowing the Zerg down. And now the scan comes down, he sees the Hive. Doesn't know how far along it is, per se, but knowing that it's coming is good information. Yeah, we got spines coming in on every base. Good job from Reaper. Does have a 5th base about to finish on up. And if he hits a big, you know, Viper double attack upgrade +2 timing, Well, actually, hang on. No, it's going to be PureLegacy moving across the map here with his 1-0 mech currently.
Oh, he might kill him. Oh, I think he's going to kill him, dude.
That is a lot of tanks.
Look at that supply, and then realize this is mech versus roaches.
Yeah. Well, it's mech versus Ravagers mostly.
Yeah, that's
Lingbane Ravager can actually do pretty well against this army. Ooh, he needs to get some corrosive biles. Oh, the Ravagers on the right side. He could have gotten down like 2 additional tanks and not lost those Ravagers, but a very big miscontrol right there from Reaper, cost him a lot. Other corrupted corrosive biles will take down. Okay, he does get the other 2 lead tanks. There's no Hellions or Hellbats actually now to cover this. If a lot of Lings get on top of this army, it could just collapse.
Yeah, that's fair. But we're seeing Roaches on the production tab for the time being. More Ravagers as well. Roaches can deal with it with the biles, but you gotta get a little bit lucky there.
Yeah, and right now he loses his 4th or his 3rd base. PureLegacy for some reason is attacking the rocks. Is that to let his reinforcements in quicker, or is that to...
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm confused.
Maybe an escape path?
Does he think there's like a big mass Muta switch coming back in? He dropped a bunch of missile turrets and built more Thors. We are going to see Reaper flooding it on top of this army. Big clumping of the tanks from PureLegacy. And that is a pretty great engagement for Reaper right there.
Yeah, that's a lot more Ravagers than I had imagined here. And, well, Reaper, he did lose 1 base. I think maybe PureLegacy should just move back here. What do you think?
Oh, definitely he should. There's no reason for him to be here. He's already achieved his goal of taking down the 3rd base. Reaper's just expanded now to a 5th base on the bottom right. Like, I don't like that he's just holding his position, especially since there's high ground that can corrosive bio. I mean, he's holding the position still successfully, but now as Vipers come out, it is going to be more difficult to do so, I feel like.
Yeah, it might be a deal where he's just not aware that, you know, Reaper does have those bottom right bases, and he just thinks he's further ahead than he actually is. And, you know, if you're not aware that the Zerg has 2 extra mining bases, you might be like, yeah, I'm okay sitting here. You're never going to produce enough to get me out of this position now. And to be fair, it could still be correct, actually.
Ooh, and if he can actually pinch off these units from this bottom base, does take down one of the Vipers before it has any energy. If he can pinch these units off from the 2 right side bases, that becomes very messy. But now the Lings are going to get in on top of these Thors, which is going to mean the tanks are friendly firing. Thors are actually tanking a lot, but the corrosive biles get another couple of tanks. PureLegacy is still trading pretty decently, and he's actually also on his own 5th base, so Reaper is running out of Ravagers as well. Funnily enough, it's actually the Zerg player who seems to be struggling to replenish his army more than the Terran.
Yeah, role reversal once again here.
But Reaper, oh my god, Reaper's money. He's got so much money in the bank, but no larva.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough. I wanted to make a point about that. He doesn't have a lot of queens. It seems like a stylistic choice out of him. It might be just, you know, one of those things like you only have so much time to focus on something, so you got to make your choices, and there's not a lot of creep spread here either. Definitely not helping with the siege stacking approaches either.
No, it is not. Oh, that's going to be an expensive engagement right there for Reaper. The Hellbats, it's such a small commitment to Hellbats. Now, another nice job right there with the Corrosive Biles does find 3 more tanks, and he gets another one that's exposed on the rally. Actually, PureLegacy clumping his tanks a little bit, leaving everything a little bit exposed. And now we've got Reaper getting a nice little kind of shove back. Oh, but these Hellions on the right side, they are going to find a lot of drones.
That's what he needed. And those Hellions, they can just keep on running through to that other base as well. There we go. Now we're really putting the hurts on Reaper.
That is, well, that is Reaper's ace in the hole. Now sunk. 19.
Pretty much.
Ooh, nope, doesn't get the 20th drone, but he's actually going to gut in on top of this other base. Oh my goodness, this is going to be like 30 drones dead.
If not more. Oh, I mean.
Oh, but he even is going to roast up a couple of these Lings, takes out a Baneling that was rallying in. This will be a nice break attempt coming in from Reaper, but does he actually even have enough units to break through these mighty Thors? And the answer is going to be no. With that, PureLegacy takes game number 1.
Well played.
Yeah, the Hellions putting the nail in the coffin there. Reaper was not in a good position for a lot of that game, but he was still taking good enough engagements to, prevent him from himself from being broken. But then once those drones go down and he loses all that mining, it's just pretty much over from there. Interesting that PureLegacy just kind of kept at him, just like did not give him an inch.
Yeah. Yeah, it was curious. For a moment, I thought like this could go wrong very quickly as well because of this. But actually, a couple of times where I felt like, is he gonna be okay? Are we just gonna have roaches now suddenly charge across the map because they killed too many siege tanks on the other side? But no, he managed to kind of keep reinforcing that, keep his macro steady and calm going at the backside, reinforce and whittle down his opponents, let him trade into you, and he just had a meat grinder ready to kind of meet him up.
Yeah, he certainly did. And we actually do have an update, by the way, as we get into game number 2. Reaper is no longer on LTK. He is on Team Gosu. So we'll have that ready for the next game.
Oh, okay.
And potentially the final game of the night. We will be getting into another one in a moment. I'm not too sure what the map's going to be, but I hope we see Reaper getting a little bit more aggressive early on.
Yeah, it feels like that might be where some of his strengths could lie. Yeah, again, because of the kind of lack of creep spread and stuff like that, it has me a bit worried about the very late game overall, where the multitasking is going to get even more severe. Right? I think you're right. If try to play into your strengths, right? And it's going to be easier, especially with the playstyle of PureLegacy here, to kind of ferry his way into the late game. Because it's the siege tanks, it's the Thors, it's a little bit easier to kind of control, right? Once you have that set up, you can keep pushing and you can just let your opponent push into you. And it's less stressful. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah, it's much less stressful. The onus is definitely on the Zerg player to take better engagements. There are some things you can do as the Terran player. You can, use your tanks to target fire. There's definitely some ways to improve the value of your units, but the burden of execution is much higher on the Zerg player for sure.
Yep.
All right, and here we go. Spawning down in the bottom left for Team Gosu, it is Reaper.
Top right side, Infernales Esports. I lost speaking. Okay, so it's a red Terran. It's PureLegacy. There we go.
There we go.
Infernales Esports.
Infernales Esports. You got it.
Infernales Esports. Yep, it came back. The tongue twisters.
It sure is.
I'm just a poor Dutch boy from Europe. I
don't have the pronunciation. That's okay. It's been a long day. This is our 9th best of 3 of the day. We've been live for like 7-8 hours at this point, which doesn't seem like much, but it's a fair bit when you're focused on the analysis and everything. It definitely gets to be a little bit of a longer day.
Yeah, it makes your head a little bit cloudier, doesn't it? It's the same when like you're at a new job or something like that. You really have to put your focus on things and really think about things, think things through. It really drains suspiciously more than I always thought that it would. Thinking.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's so much nicer when you can just enter an auto cast mode. Like an autopilot mode, but casting StarCraft, you can't really do that. Now,
no, it's just not good. It's no fun.
No, it takes a lot away from it. It's you're gonna miss important things. Ironically enough, we can talk about that because there's not actually anything important or impactful going on in the early game.
We can
nothing
miss everything.
Deviating at least. Just a normal Reaper expand similar to what we saw in game number 1. And a hatch gas pool from Reaper. So it's kind of funny, but of course, as things get more dynamic, we get into less charted territory. That's when the decisions start having a much bigger impact. Does Reaper take a third hatchery? Does he go for 2-base Muta? Do we see another quick factory out of PureLegacy? Those are the questions that we may answer in the next little bit. Ooh, nice grenade. Gets the drone right there. Well, if modern wisdom has taught me anything, that's apparently GG.
We'll see. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. But, well... He's going to have to try a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more than that. Did he... Hang on, did he see the layer start up? He saw the layer start. Oh my goodness. Okay, that actually might be... like, not really, but like, that is a hugely impactful scout. Now, it feels like... I feel like Reaper probably goes for this 2-base layer, like, a lot. Like, that is his bread and butter. Mm-hmm. But still, seeing it this early, like, that's a pretty big impact, I would say. And he gets back in, makes sure that it's not a cancel into, like, you know, a big Ling Bane all in, or maybe some kind of cancel into, like, a 2 or a 3 gas Roach Ravager all in. Mm-hmm. So just confirming that it's still up and running is nice information, and we're going to be seeing 2-base Muta once again.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of funky to see him play like this. It gives me a bit of a feeling like a Protoss as well, in a sense, you know, with the 2-base, and then we go get tech, and then, you know, we do things from there. We try to make something happen with it, and then we'll see. But, yeah, going into the Mutalisk again, I wonder if he has, like, the opportunity to just go for, like, different stuff now and again, right? Sure, you see the lair then, but then a lot of the stuff which makes these kind of Protoss approaches to the game as well in the early game pretty good, trying to get aggressive, is that your opponent is not sure what you're gonna throw at him. Is it gonna be Mutalisk? Is it gonna be a Roach attack, or, you know, Nidus Queen assault across the map? Anything. There's a lot of stuff you can do still as a Zerg there, but you just don't see all that much variation, I guess, from most Zergs.
Yeah, generally speaking, it's rather uncommon. We are going to be seeing a bit of a Hellion push coming on in. We will grab one of those Queens right there, only losing a single Hellion. The Lings, they're going to try and take the fight. They cannot. And this is actually very dangerous right now. The Mutas are on the way, which means no more Lings. And that means the big clump up right here onto these minerals ends up being massively costly. He loses all the Lings for nothing, and now the drones are getting roasted. 10 drones fall, and this is far from over in terms of damage. Oh no, he canceled the Evo Chamber, hoping to bait him to the one side. He's going to lose so many drones right here. Ay, ay, ay. I see Kozan covering his eyes with his hands because he doesn't want to see the carnage. 25 drones fall. He lost one of his queens too, so he's not even injecting on one of the hatches. I mean, these Mutas have to win the game. They have to get game-winning damage. And actually, yeah. Hang on. Hang on. The missile turrets are not done yet.
Yeah, that's true. They're trying. Oh, that's enough Marines, though, right?
Yeah, he's got stim done. Yeah, that's... He'll find a couple of SCVs, but nowhere near enough to actually get him back into this game yet. Oh, if he can deny that missile turret, that would be nice. It will complete. Where's the repair? Repair? Oh, okay, it just burns down. But there's enough Marines now to, like, really make these Mutalisks think twice. This is still such a massive lead for PureLegacy, though. He's on 3 command centers. His 4th and 5th barracks are going to complete momentarily. I mean, the Viking will act as, like, a mobile turret. He definitely wants to repair that up. But once the medevacs pop out, these Marines don't really have to worry about splash damage so much anymore. And Reaper, who is building his drone count back up, still doesn't have a 3rd base done. It just started.
Yeah, that's not where this matchup is supposed to be for Reaper. Let's get the Viking, and he still has the Mutalisk. Like, they will be an everlasting threat, and as long as these Mutalisk are here, and as long as Reaper is allowed to expand across the map, you know, there is a comeback potential. But I mean, this is like a fortress right now.
Yeah,
he will have so much difficulty breaking.
Yeah, pretty sloppy losing that Viking. Really no reason to lose that there, but honestly, still a massive lead for PureLegacy. We've got double Baneling Nest coming in from Reaper, and he built it next to his other Baneling Nest. That just tells you how frazzled he is right now. Like, he is not in a good spot in this game or mentally. Does find a couple of SCVs and a Marine on the transfer, and he actually forces, or rather, I mean, PureLegacy chooses to go back home with the other Marines, but now it's 1-1 and combat shields and a good number of medevacs. There really should be no way to hold an attack right now for Reaper. He's on 14 mutas.
Just making a second Baneling Nest.
Yeah, exactly. He made,
Yep, panic mode. Yep. Oh dear, here it comes. This could be the Ant-Man. PureLegacy. Is he gonna have this mutinous ball for dinner? There's definitely not enough Banelings here, right? The target fight needs to be so poor here for it to go through. Oh, careful, there he goes. The Mutalisks make it very difficult, to be fair. Oh no, that's a leg spike. Alright, we're good. Continue, please, take over.
No worries, we do have the Banelings all going down, and GG gets called.